The glass exploded against marble the moment Naomi Barrett saw her past walk through the door. Champagne and shattered crystal everywhere. But nobody cared about the mess. They were all staring at the man who just walked into the Crimson Palace's VIP room like he owned Seoul itself. Marcus Chen. Her hands started shaking. No, not here, not now. Naomi? Marcus's voice cut through the chaos, smooth as poisoned honey. Is that really you? She couldn't breathe, couldn't move. 6 months. She'd had 6 months of peace after Atlanta, after her brother, after everything Marcus had destroyed. You two know each other? The new voice made her skin prickle. Kang Soo-jo emerged from the shadows near the window, and suddenly Marcus wasn't the most dangerous thing in the room. Soo-jo was her boss, the Ghost King everyone whispered about but never saw. Except he was here now, watching her with eyes that missed nothing. Know each other? Marcus laughed, leaning back in his chair. We were engaged. I had plans for this one, big plans. Had. Soo-jo's tone could cut glass. Past tense. Everything's negotiable, Kang. Marcus's smile didn't reach his eyes. Name your price for the girl. The girl, like she was inventory. I'm not... Naomi's voice cracked. She hated that. I don't belong to anyone. Debatable, Marcus murmured. Soo-jo moved then. Fast, fluid, devastating. One moment he was across the room. The next, his hand was on her waist, burning through fabric, pulling her backward into his orbit. What are you doing? She whispered. He didn't answer, just guided her down onto his lap in one smooth motion that stole her breath. His thighs were solid beneath her, his arm an iron band across her stomach. She could feel his heartbeat against her spine, steady, controlled, while hers was trying to escape her chest. Let me clarify something, Chen. Soo-jo's voice dropped to something dark and possessive, his breath hot against her ear. She's not for sale, not for trade, not even for discussion. His lips brushed her temple. Barely there, but she felt it everywhere. She's mine. Marcus's face went cold. You're making a mistake. Am I? Soo-jo's fingers spread wider on her ribcage, thumb tracing the curve just below her ribcage. Naomi bit her lip to keep from making a sound. Because from where I'm sitting, I'm making the smartest decision of my life. This isn't over. Marcus stood slowly, straightening his jacket. We have unfinished business, sweetheart. You know we do. The only business you have, Soo-jo said quietly, is with my security. They'll escort you out. Men materialized from corners. Marcus looked at them, then at Naomi, then smiled that terrible smile. See you soon, baby girl. Then he was gone. Naomi tried to stand. Soo-jo's arm tightened. Not yet. His voice was different now, softer but somehow more intense. His men need to clear the building first. You can't just... She twisted to face him and immediately regretted it. They were too close. His eyes were dark amber up close, burning with something that made her stomach flip. You don't own me. No. His gaze dropped to her mouth, then back up. But he doesn't know that. And right now, that performance is the only thing keeping you breathing. Performance? Wasn't it? He tilted his head, studying her. Or did you feel it too? Her pulse thundered. Feel what? That. His thumb traced her jawline. Feather light. This thing between us. Tell me I imagined it. She should say yes, should pull away, should remember she was FBI, he was a target, this was a mission. The words stuck in her throat. That's what I thought. He released her then, standing in one fluid motion. My office. 10 minutes. We need to talk about Marcus Chen, why he walked into my casino, and what the hell you're really doing in Seoul. He walked away, leaving her cold and confused and burning all at once. Her phone buzzed. FBI handler. Status report now. Naomi stared at the message. Then at the door Soo-jo had disappeared through. She'd just been claimed by a MAFIA boss in front of her homicidal ex-fiancé. Her cover was either completely blown or somehow more solid than before. And the worst part? The absolute worst part? When Suzhou had called her his, some dark, reckless part of her had wanted it to be true. So here's the question. When a dangerous man claims you to protect you from an even more dangerous man, is that salvation or just a prettier cage? Drop a comment because things are about to get so much worse. Suzhou's office was all glass and steel, soul glittering below like a dangerous promise. Naomi stood by the window, trying to steady her breathing, trying to forget the heat of his lap, the possessive weight of his arm, the way her body had betrayed every logical thought when he'd called her his. Sit. She didn't turn around. You had no right to save your life? Footsteps behind her getting closer. You're welcome. I didn't ask for your help. Her reflection in the glass showed him approaching, predatory and patient. I didn't ask to be dragged onto your lap like some what? He stopped just behind her, close enough that his breath stirred the escaped curls at her nape. Say it, Naomi. Her pulse hammered. Like I belong to you. Don't you? His voice dropped, intimate and dangerous. Marcus certainly thinks so, and right now, that belief is the only thing keeping you breathing. She spun to face him and immediately regretted it. He was too close, eyes too dark, presence overwhelming in the confined space. This is insane. He's going to come for you. Yes. Suzhou moved past her to his desk, poured 2 glasses of whiskey with steady hands. That's the point. The point? She laughed, sharp and bitter. You're using me as bait. Yes. He offered her a glass. She didn't take it. But that's not all you are. What's that supposed to mean? Instead of answering, he pulled out a folder, dropped it on the desk between them with a soft thud that felt like a bomb. Open it. Her hands shook as she reached for it. Inside, her employment application, her references, her carefully constructed background, all of it marked in red ink. Corrections, truth. Her blood turned to ice. Naomi Barrett, 28, Atlanta. Suzhou's voice was almost gentle. References that don't exist. Background that's mostly fiction. Very good fiction, I'll admit. But fiction nonetheless. She couldn't speak, couldn't breathe. I've known since the day you walked into my casino 6 months ago. He took a slow sip of whiskey, watching her over the rim. Question is, why didn't I kill you? That snapped her back. Why didn't you? Because people who run are running from something interesting. He set down his glass, moved around the desk toward her. And you, Naomi Barrett, are very, very interesting. Stop. She held up a hand, needing space, needing air. Just stop with the cryptic mob boss routine and tell me what you want. His smile was slow, predatory. Honesty. That's all I've ever wanted. Honesty, she wanted to scream. You've been lying to me for 6 months. No. He stopped inches away. I've been waiting, there's a difference. Waiting for what? For Marcus Chen to make his move, for you to be ready, for... He paused, something flickering in his expression. For this moment right here, when you have to decide who you trust more, your handlers or me. Her phone buzzed in her pocket. Once, twice. Insistent. That's them now, isn't it? Suzhou tilted his head. Your FBI handlers, wanting a status report, wanting to know if you're compromised. She went absolutely still. How do you... Because I'm very good at what I do, Naomi, and what I do is survive in a world where information is currency. He reached out, traced her jawline with devastating gentleness. So here's some free information. Marcus Chen has been using my businesses as fronts for human trafficking, without my knowledge, without my permission. You expect me to believe... I don't traffic people. I don't touch that poison. His voice went cold, lethal. Women, children, they're sacred. Lines I don't cross. Marcus crossed those lines in my territory. That makes it personal. Her mind raced. So you hired me because your connection to Marcus made you perfect bait. Yes, he didn't apologize for it. But also because I've spent months tracking his operation, and I needed someone close to him, someone he'd want back. God. She pressed her palms to her eyes. This is insane. You're insane. Probably. His hand caught her wrist, pulled it away from her face. "But I'm honest. Can your FBI handlers say the same?" Her phone buzzed again. "Answer it," Sujo said quietly. "Tell them you're in. Tell them Marcus showed up and I claimed you to keep you safe. Tell them whatever you need. To stay useful." "Why are you helping me?" "Because—" He stopped, jaw clenching like the words cost him something. "Because tonight, when I touched you, when I called you mine, it wasn't entirely strategy." The confession hung between them, dangerous and electric. "That's not—" Her voice cracked. "You can't just— I can't." He moved closer, backing her against the desk. "I shouldn't. It's reckless and stupid and breaks every rule I have about mixing business with—" He stopped, close enough that she could see gold flecks in his dark eyes. "But there it is, the truth you wanted." Her phone buzzed a third time. 24 hours, Sujo said, stepping back like it physically hurt him. "You have 24 hours to decide. Stay, work with me, and we destroy Marcus together. Or leave. Go back to your handlers. Live with wondering what if. That's not fair. Nothing about this is fair." He moved toward the door, paused with his hand on the handle. "For what it's worth, when I touched you tonight, I stopped thinking like a strategist. Started thinking like a man who hasn't wanted something this badly in years." His eyes found hers. "So yes, you were bait, but you're also the most dangerous thing that's happened to me in a decade." Then he was gone, and Naomi was alone with impossible choices and a heart that wouldn't stop racing. Her phone lit up. "Status report now." She stared at the message, at the folder of truths Sujo left behind, at Seoul glittering beyond the windows, full of danger and possibility. She thought about Marcus's smile, her brother's body, Sujo's confession. Finally, she typed, "In position. Target claims ignorance of trafficking. Investigating if true. Marcus Chen appeared tonight. Escalated the situation. Kang offered protection. Staying close." The response came immediately. "Good work. Maintain cover. Report daily. Do not get emotionally compromised." Naomi almost laughed at that. She looked at the door Sujo had left through, remembered the heat of his body, the roughness in his voice when he'd admitted wanting her. Too late, she thought. Way too late. Naomi didn't sleep. She spent the night in her apartment staring at her phone, replaying Sujo's words. 24 hours. Choose carefully. At 4 a.m., a new message lit up her screen. Unknown number. "TikTok, baby girl. Time's running out." Below it, a photo. Her mother leaving her house in Atlanta. Yesterday's timestamp. Naomi's hands shook. Another buzz. "Make the wrong choice and mama pays for it. Sweet dreams." MC. She was stuffing clothes into a bag when car doors slammed outside. Footsteps. Multiple. Her heart seized. Marcus found her. The knock was controlled. Professional. "Ms. Barrett, Mr. Kang sent us. You need to come with us now." She opened the door to 3 security guards and a stone-faced driver. Relief and terror mixed in equal measure. It's 4 in the morning. Marcus Chen was spotted in Itaewon 90 minutes ago. The driver's expression was granite. 2 blocks from here. Boss says you're moving now. 40 minutes later, she stood in Sujo's mansion as dawn broke over Seoul. Marble floors, floor-to-ceiling windows, art that probably cost more than she'd make in 10 years. Her cramped apartment suddenly felt like it belonged to someone else entirely. "You're early." Sujo appeared on the staircase, hair damp from a shower, black pants, and a white shirt unbuttoned at the collar. Water droplets traced his throat. Naomi forced herself to look away. "Marcus didn't give me much choice." His expression went deadly. "Show me." She handed him her phone, watched his jaw clench as he scrolled through the threats. "Chenho." His driver materialized instantly. "I want surveillance on this address. Atlanta. 24/7. 2-man rotation. If Marcus's people get within 5 blocks of her mother, I want them disappeared before they get closer." "Yes, sir." Naomi stared. "You can do that? From Korea?" "I can do a lot of things." Sujo returned her phone, and when their fingers touched, electricity shot up her arm. "Your mother is protected now. You have my word." Something in his voice, absolute certainty, made her believe him. Come. He gestured toward the hallway. You haven't eaten. The kitchen was pristine marble and steel. Suzhou moved through it with surprising ease, pulling out eggs, vegetables, rice. Sit. I can... Sit, Naomi. Not a command. A request. Let me do this. She perched at the island, watching him crack eggs with precise movements. You cook? My mother taught me. Before she left. He didn't look up. She said men who can't feed themselves aren't men. They're children. She left when I was 12. Couldn't handle what my father was becoming. The knife through vegetables was rhythmic, almost meditative. What I was becoming either. The vulnerability in those words caught her off guard. This wasn't the man from last night. Cold, possessive, strategic. This was someone else entirely. Do you blame her? Every day. He plated an omelet that looked restaurant quality, set it in front of her. And not at all. Depends on the day. She took a bite. It was perfect. This is really good. Don't sound so surprised. He poured coffee, black. Slid it across. Monsters can have kitchen skills. I'm learning that. She met his eyes over the rim of her cup. What else don't I know about you? Everything that matters. He leaned against the counter, studying her with unsettling intensity. But we have time for that. Right now. His expression shifted. I need you to understand what happens next. Her pulse jumped. What? Marcus won't stop until he has you back or you're dead. He moved closer, backing her against the counter. When he comes, and he will, it gets violent, bloody, personal. Are you ready for that? I watched him destroy my family. No. His voice went soft, almost gentle. You found your brother after. That's different from watching someone die, from pulling a trigger yourself. His hand came up, traced her jawline. I'm trying to prepare you, because once we start this war, there's no going back. You'll see things, do things, become things you can't undo. Her breath caught at his touch, at the heat in his eyes that had nothing to do with strategy. Maybe I'm already those things. Maybe I just haven't admitted it yet. Something hungry flickered across his face. God, you're... Her phone rang. FBI handler. The spell shattered. Suzhou stepped back, expression closing off. Your other employer. Give them enough to stay useful, not enough to be expendable. She stared at him. How do you... Because that's what I do. He turned back to cleaning. Answer it. She did. Barrett. You're at Kang's residence. Explain. Marcus escalated. Threatened my mother. Kang offered protection. Jesus Christ, Barrett. You're supposed to gather intel, not move in with the target. I'm closer than we've ever been. She watched Suzhou's back, the tension in his shoulders. 1 month. I'll get you everything. 1 month, but if you're compromised, I'm not. The lie burned. The call ended. Naomi set down her phone with shaking hands. 1 month, Suzhou said quietly. They want evidence I don't have. I know, Marcus is using your businesses as fronts. You're the cover, not the operation. Smart girl. He moved closer again, erasing the distance between them. So what happens when you can't deliver? I don't know. Then we have a month to figure out how to keep you alive when your handlers realize you're protecting their target. His hand slid to her waist. At what point does protection become something else, Naomi? Her heart hammered. What are you asking? Last night, calling you mine, the touching. His forehead touched hers. Her breath stopped. What? I've been watching you for 6 months, the way you move through my casino, how you handle drunk men with grace and sharp words, your laugh when you think no one's listening. His fingers traced one of her braids gently. How long does this take? 6 hours, she whispered. Give or take. 6 hours of sitting still. His smile was soft. You don't strike me as patient. I'm not, but some things are worth the wait. The air between them ignited. I hired you as bait, he said roughly, but somewhere along the way, that stopped being the only reason I wanted you close. His hand slid to the nape of her neck. Tell me you don't feel this. Tell me I'm alone in this madness. She couldn't. God help her, she couldn't. "This is a terrible idea," she whispered. "The worst." His lips hovered over hers. "Say stop. Say no. Say anything, and I'll walk away." She should remember Marcus, the FBI, all the reasons this was impossible. Instead, she closed the distance. The kiss was fire, devastating and gentle all at once. He kissed her like she was something precious, something worth savoring. His hand cradled her face while the other splayed across her lower back, pulling her closer. She melted into him, hands fisting in his shirt, tasting coffee and something darker, more dangerous. When they broke apart, both breathing hard, Sujo rested his forehead against hers. "Well," his voice was wrecked, "that complicates everything." Understatement. "We should—" Glass exploded upstairs, gunshots, screaming. Sujo's entire body went rigid. He pulled a gun from somewhere. "Chen-ho!" His driver appeared, already armed. "East Wing breach, multiple hostiles. Get her to the safe room, now." Sujo's eyes found Naomi's, fierce, desperate. "I'll come for you, I promise." Then he was gone, running toward danger, and Naomi was being dragged away by Chen-ho, heart racing, lips still burning from a kiss that might be their last. The safe room was steel and silence. Naomi paced like a caged animal while Chen-ho stood guard by the door, expression carved from stone. Above them, gunfire echoed, muffled, but constant. Each shot made her flinch. She'd kissed Sujo less than 10 minutes ago. Now he was up there, fighting, bleeding, possibly dying. And she was hiding in a panic room like a coward. "How long?" Her voice came out sharper than intended. "Until boss says it's clear." "That's not—" She stopped, pressed her palms to her eyes. "Breathe. Think. How often does this happen? Attacks like this?" Chen-ho's expression flickered. Something like respect. First time in 3 years. Marcus is making a statement. That he can reach me whenever he wants. That he's desperate. Chen-ho's hand rested on his weapon. Desperate men make mistakes. The gunfire intensified, then stopped. Silence rushed in, thick, suffocating, worse than the noise. Naomi's heart hammered against her ribs. What does that mean? Could mean it's over. Chen-ho moved toward the door, listening. Could mean... The door opened. Sujo stood there, and Naomi's world tilted. Blood soaked his white shirt. Too much blood. A cut above his eyebrow dripped red down his temple. His eyes were wild, dangerous, until they found her. Then something in him cracked open. "You're okay." Not a question. A prayer answered. She crossed the space between them before conscious thought caught up. Her hands went to his face, his chest, checking for wounds, for proof he was real and whole and breathing. "I'm fine." But his voice shook. "You're covered in blood." "Most of it's not mine." His hands caught hers, stilling them. The touch was gentle despite the violence still humming through him. "Naomi..." "Most?" She pulled back, really looking now. The blood wasn't just splatter. There was a tear in his shirt near his shoulder, fabric dark and wet. "You're hurt." "Graze. Nothing serious." "Let me see." "Ma'am." Chen-ho appeared in the doorway. "Medical team is requesting boss upstairs. The injured need—" "I'm coming." Sujo's eyes never left Naomi's face. 2 minutes. Chen-ho hesitated, then nodded and disappeared. Alone, Sujo sagged slightly against the doorframe, adrenaline fading, leaving exhaustion and pain in its wake. "How bad?" Naomi whispered. 3 of my men wounded, none critical." His jaw clenched. 7 of Marcus's dead, 3 escaped with him. He got away. He was never here. Sent his men to deliver a message. Sujo's hand came up, traced her cheekbone like he needed to confirm she was real. That nowhere is safe. That he can reach you whenever he wants. But he didn't. You stopped him. This time. His thumb brushed her lower lip, and despite everything, the blood, the danger, the chaos, heat sparked between them. Next time he'll bring more men, better weapons. He's testing my defenses, learning my patterns. So we don't give him a next time. She caught his hand, laced their fingers together. We go after him first. Something fierce and proud flickered in his eyes. We? You said partners. Her voice was steadier than she felt. So, partner, what's the plan? The plan? He swayed slightly. She caught his arm, steadied him. The plan is, I deal with my men, you stay somewhere safe, and we regroup when I'm not bleeding on you. Your shoulder. We'll keep. But his face had gone pale under the blood. Suzhou? She moved closer, voice dropping. They have a medical team. You have me. Let someone else handle it for 5 minutes while I make sure you're not dying. His resistance crumbled. Upstairs, master suite, medical. Kid in the bathroom. She guided him up the stairs, acutely aware of his weight against her side, the way his breath hitched with each step. The master suite was all dark wood and floor-to-ceiling windows, Seoul glittering below like nothing had just tried to kill them. Sit. She pointed to the bed. He obeyed without argument, which worried her more than the blood. The medical kit was extensive. Someone had prepared for exactly this kind of emergency. She grabbed supplies, returned to find him struggling out of his ruined shirt. Let me. Her hands replaced his, carefully peeling away fabric stuck to his wound. He hissed when she revealed the damage, a bullet graze across his left shoulder, angry and deep, still bleeding. You call this nothing serious? Her hands shook slightly as she cleaned it. I've seen worse in training, but this is painful? His good hand caught her wrist when she hesitated. Keep going. I can handle it. She worked quickly, efficiently, the way her FBI training had taught her. But training hadn't prepared her for the intimacy of this. Touching him, tending him, feeling his muscles tense under her fingers. You're steady, he said quietly. Most people aren't. Their first real time. Who says it's my first time? His eyebrows rose. FBI training. Field medicine basics. She secured the bandage. Though we practiced on dummies, not... She stopped. Not people I care about. The admission hung between them. Naomi. His voice was rough. This morning, when you kissed me, before someone tried to kill us? Yeah, I remember. Do you regret it? The vulnerability in his eyes was devastating. Now that you've seen what my world really looks like, blood and bullets and panic rooms. She should say yes, should take the escape he was offering. Instead, she pressed her palm against his chest, felt his heart hammering. Ask me again when I'm not terrified you're going to bleed out. I'm not going to... His phone buzzed, then again, insistent. Suzhou's expression went cold as he checked it. No. What? Marcus. He turned the screen toward her. A text message with an attached video. She pressed play. The footage showed a warehouse. Industrial, abandoned. Women huddled together, chained, terrified. Dozens of them. Marcus appeared on screen, that familiar predatory smile. Hello, darling. I thought we should discuss terms. You see these women, come to me, willingly alone by midnight tomorrow, and they all go free. Don't show and I start sending Suzhou videos, 1 woman per hour. Your choice. The screen went black. Naomi stared at it, blood roaring in her ears. 50 women, maybe more. Their lives hanging in the balance because Marcus wanted her back. No. Suzhou's voice cut through her spiraling thoughts. Whatever you're thinking, the answer is no. He'll kill them. It's a trap. He caught her face between his hands, forced her to look at him. You walk into that. Warehouse, you don't walk out alive. He's counting on your guilt. Don't give him that weapon. And if I don't, 50 women die because I'm too scared to... Because you're smart enough not to trade your life for a lie. His grip tightened. Marcus won't let them go. He'll kill you and them. That's who he is. You don't know that. I know men like him. His voice cracked. Trust me, Naomi. Please. Trust me to find another way. She wanted to. God, she wanted to believe there was a solution that didn't end with innocent people dying because of her. But the math was simple. 50 lives. 1 life. How long do we have? 26 hours. Suzhou's phone buzzed, his tech team. He answered, listened, face going grimmer. Run facial recognition on everyone in that video. Cross-reference with missing persons. I want that warehouse location in 12 hours. He hung up, looked at Naomi with something close to desperation. We'll find them. We'll get them out. But I need you to promise me something. What? That you won't try to sacrifice yourself to save. I can't promise that. His expression shattered. Naomi, if there's no other way, if it comes down to it, I'm not letting 50 women die because I was too selfish to... The words died when he moved. He stood slowly, good hand sliding to the back of her neck, tilting her face up. For a moment, he just looked at her, like he was memorizing every detail, every breath. Then he kissed her. Hard, desperate, tasting like blood and fear, and something that felt dangerously like love. When he pulled back, his forehead rested against hers. Then I guess I have 12 hours to make sure it doesn't come to that. His voice was wrecked. Because I just found you, Naomi Barrett, and I'm not losing you to Marcus Chen or anyone else. Understand? She nodded, not trusting her voice. But they both knew the truth. If his team couldn't find that warehouse in time, she'd make the trade. And nothing, not his promises, not this thing between them, not even the certainty that it was a trap, would stop her. What would you do in Naomi's position? Save 50 strangers or trust the man you're falling for to find another way? Drop your answer below. 12 hours turned into a war room. Suzhou's office filled with men Naomi had never seen. Tech specialists, security analysts, people who moved with military precision. Maps covered every screen, satellite images, thermal scans, the organized chaos of people preparing for battle. And at Suzhou's right hand stood a man who commanded almost as much respect as the boss himself. "This is Li Mingyi," Suzhou said. "My second in command, 10 years at my side. If something happens to me, you follow his orders." Mingyi bowed slightly, respectful, professional. He was lean, early 30s, with the kind of controlled intensity that came from years in dangerous work. "Ms. Barrett, it's good to finally meet you. Boss speaks highly of you." "Does he?" Naomi glanced at Suzhou, who was already back to studying screens. "He said you're smart, resourceful, stubborn as hell." Mingyi's smile was genuine. High praise from him. She almost relaxed. Almost. "What do we have?" Suzhou's voice cut through the room and everyone snapped to attention. Mingyi pulled up files on the main screen. Facial recognition identified 16 women from the video. Most recent disappearance was 3 days ago. College student from Busan. That gives us a timeline. Marcus is moving fast. "Location?" Naomi asked. "Working on it." Mingyi zoomed in on a map of Seoul's outskirts. The warehouse structure in the video suggests industrial district, old shipping facility. We're cross-referencing with abandoned properties in Incheon, Bucheon, and southern Seoul. Should have it narrowed down within the hour. "We don't have hours." Suzhou checked his watch. "Marcus's deadline is 14 hours from now. We need at least 6 hours to plan the assault, position teams, coordinate extraction. That gives us 8 hours to find them." The weight of that settled over the room like a shroud. Naomi's phone buzzed. FBI handler, she ignored it. Suzhou noticed. "You need to answer eventually." "Not now." She moved closer to the screens, studying the frozen image of Marcus's smile. "They'll want details about the attack, about this video. If I tell them..." "They pull you out," Mingyi said quietly. "Standard protocol when an asset is compromised?" The word asset stung more than it should have. "I'm not leaving." She met Suzhou's eyes across the room. "Not until this is finished." Something passed between them, understanding, gratitude, fear. Her phone buzzed again, insistent. "Take it in the hall," Suzhou said, "before they escalate." She stepped outside, hand shaking as she answered. "Barrett, where the hell have you been? I've called 6 times." "Sorry, security situation. Kang's compound was attacked early this morning." At least that was true. "I've been in lockdown." Silence. Then, attacked by who? "Unknown hostiles, possibly connected to Marcus Chen." Also true. Multiple casualties. The situation is still active. Jesus Christ, Barrett, this is spinning out of control. We need to extract you. No. Too sharp. She forced her voice to steady. I'm safe. Kang's security handled it. But this proves Chen is escalating. If we pull out now, we lose our best chance. Your best chance at what? Getting killed? Her handler's voice rose. You're supposed to be gathering intelligence, not playing house with a crime boss during gang wars. I'm gathering more intel in 1 week here than 6 months of surveillance ever gave us. She glanced back toward the office where Suzhou stood, arms crossed, watching his team work. 1 more week. That's all I need. You don't have a week. Chen is clearly targeting Kang's operation, which means targeting you. We're initiating extraction protocol. No, please. The desperation in her voice was real. 7 days. Let me finish this. For my brother, for... She stopped. Please. The silence stretched. 1 week, 7 days to deliver actionable intelligence, or we're pulling you whether you like it or not. And Barrett, don't make me regret this. The line went dead. Naomi leaned against the wall, heart hammering. 7 days. Marcus's deadline was tonight. The math didn't work. Nothing about this worked. Bad news? She jumped. Mingi had appeared in the hallway, quiet as a shadow. Just my handlers checking in. She straightened. Nothing I can't manage. They want you. Out. He studied her carefully. But you convinced them to give you more time. Impressive. Is there something you need, Mingi? Just wanted to say, what you're doing, staying to help with this rescue. It takes courage. His expression was sincere. Most people would run when things get this dangerous. You're choosing to stay and fight. Boss notices things like that. The unexpected support caught her off guard. I'm just doing what's right. In our world, right is complicated. He glanced back toward the war room. But for what it's worth, I'm glad you're here. He needs someone who... Mingi stopped, reconsidered. Just be careful, Ms. Barrett. When this goes down tonight, it's going to get ugly fast. Before she could respond, Suzhou appeared in the doorway. We have something. Both of you now. The war room had transformed. New images filled the screens, aerial views of 3 warehouse facilities in Incheon. Took some doing, but we narrowed it down, the tech specialist explained. Cross-referenced the architectural features visible in Marcus's video with property records. These 3 are the only matches, abandoned shipping facilities with the same structural layout. Thermal imaging? Suzhou demanded. Running now. Should have results in 20 minutes. 20 minutes felt like an eternity. Naomi studied the 3 locations, her FBI training kicking in. The middle one, it's closest to the port. Easy access for moving people. Secluded, but not too remote. Good instinct, Mingi said. That's my guess, too. The screens updated. Heat signatures bloomed across the middle facility, concentrated patterns, approximately 50 bodies clustered in the center, 20 more spread around the perimeter. That's it, Suzhou said. That's our target. Guard rotation suggests they're expecting trouble, Mingi observed. Marcus knows we're coming. Of course he does. That's the point. Suzhou turned to Naomi, and the fear in his eyes was raw. Which is why you're staying here, safe, while we handle this. No? Naomi, you're going into a warehouse with 50 hostages and 20 armed guards, and you think I'm staying behind? Her voice rose. I'm trained for this. I can help. You can die. His hands found her shoulders. This isn't FBI training scenarios. This is real bullets, real blood, real... He stopped, jaw working. I can't focus on the mission if I'm terrified you're going to get shot. Then trust me. She held his gaze. Trust that I know what I'm doing, that I can handle myself. Boss. Mingi cleared his throat. She has tactical training, knows hostage protocols, and honestly, we could use an extra pair of hands. The team is stretched thin after this morning's attack. Which is exactly why she shouldn't... Suzhou stopped, looked between them. The war in his expression was visible, logic versus fear. Please, Naomi said softly, let me do this. Let me help save them. The silence stretched. Between them, a battle of wills and fear and something deeper. Finally, Suzhou's shoulders dropped. Fine, but you stay with Mingi. You follow every order, and if I say run, you run. Understood? Understood. Mingi, get her fitted for gear. Weapons check, tactical briefing, everything. Suzhou's eyes never left Naomi's face. And Mingi, she doesn't leave your sight. You have my word, boss. As Mingi guided her toward the armory, Naomi caught Suzhou's expression. Pride and terror warring in his eyes. In 6 hours, they'd storm a warehouse holding 50 innocent women. In 14 hours, Marcus's deadline would expire. And somewhere in the dark, her ex-fiancé was waiting with a smile and a knife, ready to make her pay for choosing Suzhou over him. What would you do? Stay safe or fight alongside the people you care about? Drop your answer below because the countdown to war just started. 6 hours of preparation felt like 6 minutes. The armory was controlled chaos, men gearing up, weapons checks, tactical maps spread across every surface. Naomi stood in the center of it, watching Suzhou's team transform into something lethal and coordinated. Miss Barrett. Mingi approached with tactical gear. Let's get you fitted. The Kevlar vest felt foreign against her skin. Heavy, restrictive, real in a way training exercises never were. Mingi adjusted straps with practiced efficiency, checking movement, testing range of motion. Ever been in a real firefight? He asked. Does qualifying at Quantico count? His expression said everything. Stay behind me tonight. Do exactly what I say when I say it. Hesitation gets people killed. I won't hesitate. Everyone says that. He handed her a Glock, watched her check the chamber with approval. Until the first bullet comes at your head. Then we find out who you really are. The armory door opened. Suzhou entered, fully geared, transformed into something harder, colder. The man who'd kissed her in his kitchen was gone. This was the ghost king of Seoul's underworld, the one people whispered about in careful tones. Final brief in 5. Teams are rolling out in 15. His eyes found Naomi's, and for a moment the mask cracked. Last chance to stay behind. Not a chance. He crossed to her, hand cupping her face. Around them, his men pretended not to watch. If something happens to me tonight, nothing's going to happen. If it does, he continued, voice rough, Mingi gets you out. No heroics, no looking back. Promise me, Naomi. She wanted to argue, wanted to say she'd burn the whole world down before leaving him behind. Instead, she nodded. He kissed her then, quick, desperate, tasting like fear and goodbye. When he pulled back, his forehead rested against hers. Stay alive, he whispered. That's an order. You too. The convoy rolled through Seoul in darkness. 5 black SUVs, 20 men, enough firepower to start a small war. Naomi sat between Mingi and another operative named Kwan, watching the city blur past, trying to control her breathing. Her phone buzzed. Text from unknown number. Tick-tock, baby girl. Getting close now, aren't you? Hope you're making the right choice. Marcus. Somehow he knew they were coming. Boss. She handed Suzhou the phone from the front seat. Marcus just texted. Suzhou read it, expression going lethal. He knows we're coming. Doesn't change anything. We're committed. He turned to address the team through comms. Everyone stays sharp. Expect complications. Expect traps. Expect Marcus to have planned for this. 30 minutes later, the warehouse emerged from industrial darkness. Massive, decrepit, exactly like the video. Rusted metal, broken windows, surrounded by empty lots and abandoned shipping containers. But something felt wrong. Where's the perimeter security? Mingi muttered, scanning through night vision. Video showed 20 guards. I'm counting 0. Trap, Kwan said flatly. Obviously. Suzhou's hand went to his weapon, which means we spring it carefully. Team Alpha, East Entrance, Bravo, West. Charlie holds the perimeter and vehicles. No one moves until I give the signal. They deployed like shadows. Silent, coordinated, years of working together evident in every movement. Naomi stuck close to Mingi, every sense heightened, FBI training warring with raw terror. The east entrance was unlocked, just standing open like an invitation. Really don't like this, Mingi whispered into comms. Copy that. Proceeding anyway. Sujo's voice crackled through her earpiece. We're not leaving those women. Inside, the warehouse was cavernous, rusted machinery casting strange shadows, scattered debris, and in the center, exactly as shown in the video, women huddled together, chained, terrified, real. But still no guards, no movement, nothing but silence and those 50 terrified faces. Where is everyone? Naomi breathed. Then she saw them, thin wires crisscrossing the floor, nearly invisible. Her FBI training kicked in and her blood went cold. Stop! Her voice cut through comms. Tripwires, the whole place is wired, nobody move. Sujo froze mid-step, hand signaling his team to halt. Explosives? Naomi studied the setup, her 3 months with the bomb squad suddenly feeling woefully inadequate. I think so. And the women? She focused on their positioning, the way they sat unnaturally still. They're on pressure plates. We move them wrong, the whole place goes up. Christ. Mingy scanned the space with new eyes, seeing the trap for what it was. Marcus wanted us here. Wanted us to find them. This whole rescue is... Lights blazed on, blinding after the darkness. A show. Marcus's voice echoed through hidden speakers, and Naomi's stomach dropped. Hello, darling. Told you I'd be watching. Screens flickered to life, mounted cameras showing every angle, every man, every weapon. They were being broadcast, recorded. Marcus was somewhere safe, watching them squirm in his trap. See, Sujo, this is what happens when you take what's mine. Marcus appeared on the largest screen, and Naomi's hands clenched into fists at the sight of that familiar, predatory smile. Now you have a choice. Leave my merchandise and walk away alive, or try to save them and watch your men burn. Either way, Naomi comes to me. That was always the deal. Naomi's not going anywhere, Sujo snarled. No! Marcus's laugh was cruel. Then let's make this interesting. I'm feeling generous tonight. I'll give you 30 minutes to disarm everything and free those women. Succeed, and maybe I let you all walk away. Fail. He held up a detonator, thumb hovering over the trigger. And we find out how much C4 it takes to level a warehouse. Clock starts now. The screen went dark, but a digital timer appeared on every monitor. 30 bow, then 29:59, 29.58, 30 minutes, 50 women, enough explosives to kill everyone. We need a bomb tech, Quan said, already on his radio. Now. Nearest one is 45 minutes out, Mingy replied, voice tight. We're on our own. Not quite. Naomi moved forward, studying the nearest pressure plate. I did 3 months with the FBI's bomb squad. Basic training, but I know the fundamentals. Basic training? Sujo grabbed her arm, spun her to face him. Naomi, no. You're not going near those explosives. Someone has to, and I'm the closest thing to an expert we have. She met his eyes, saw the raw terror there, the way his hand trembled slightly on her arm. I can do this, but you need to evacuate your men. Get them outside the blast radius, if something goes wrong. If something goes wrong, we all die together. His jaw set with that stubborn determination she was learning to recognize. I'm not leaving you. Boss, Mingy's voice was quiet but firm. She's right. If this goes bad, no reason for everyone to... I said I'm not. Leaving. Sujo turned to his team, voice carrying. Anyone who wants out, go now. No judgment, no consequences. Silence. No one moved. Loyal idiots, Naomi muttered, but warmth bloomed in her chest despite everything. Okay, everyone stays quiet, no sudden movements. And someone get me a tactical light and wire cutters. Now. She approached the first pressure plate like it was a coiled snake. The woman sitting on it, young, early 20s, college sweatshirt with a cartoon character, watched with terrified red-rimmed eyes. What's your name? Naomi asked softly, kneeling to examine the device. Sujin. Okay, Sujin, I'm going to get you out of here, but I need you to stay very, very still. Can you do that for me? The girl nodded, tears streaming silently down her face. The pressure plate was crude but effective. Release the weight, circuit completes, detonator triggers. But there, hidden in the wiring, was a bypass. Typical Marcus. Theatrical but lazy with details. I can disarm this, Naomi said into comms, hands already working. But there's 50 of them, even working as fast as I can. That's 27 minutes left, Mingi said, watching the timer. Not enough time. Sujo moved beside her, studying the setup. What if we don't disarm them individually? What if we trick the pressure sensors, add equivalent weight as we remove each woman? Naomi's mind raced. Risky. If the calibration is off by even a few pounds, everything explodes, I know. His eyes met hers. But it's the only way we save them all in time. Damn him for being right. Okay, everyone find something heavy. Sandbags, equipment bags, anything. We're going to swap them out one by one. Add weight simultaneously as we remove each woman. Naomi raised her voice to address the terrified hostages. Does anyone here speak English? 2 hands raised shakily. Good. Translate for me. Tell everyone what we're doing. Tell them not to move, not to shift, not even to breathe heavy until we give the signal. Lives depend on it. Understand? Rapid Korean followed as the women translated, and Naomi watched comprehension and hope flicker across 50 terrified faces. The next 20 minutes were the longest of her life, one woman at a time. Calculate approximate weight, find equivalent mass in gear and sandbags. Position it carefully. On her count, add weight, remove chains, lift the woman clear. Pray the sensor held. Pray Marcus's equipment was as sloppy as his planning. Soo Jin first. Success. The plate held, then the next woman, and the next. 15 freed, 20, 30. The timer ticking down relentlessly. 40 women, 45. Then Soo Jin, already freed, waiting by the exit with the others, screamed, "My leg! It's cramping! I can't! I have to move!" She shifted weight onto the leg that had been compressed for hours. Just an inch. Just enough to bump into one of the women still sitting on a plate. That woman flinched, rocking, slightly. The pressure plate beneath her beeped. Once, twice. Then a steady, rapid tone. Everyone froze. "Don't move," Naomi commanded, voice cutting through rising panic. "Nobody move. How much time on the—" 90 seconds, Mingi said, voice tight as wire. Naomi, her hands were already working, tracing wires with shaking fingers, finding the bypass, isolating the circuit. Training took over. Find the trigger, trace it back, locate the cutoff. 60 seconds. Sujo's hand found her shoulder, steady, grounding. You've got this. 45 seconds. One more wire, just one more, red or blue. Her training screamed red, but Marcus would know that. He'd expect standard protocol. 30 seconds. Naomi, we need to run. Not leaving her. Naomi cut the blue wire. The beeping stopped. Silence so complete she could hear her own heartbeat. Then chaos erupted. Everyone moving at once, freeing the remaining women, running for exits, desperate to get clear before Marcus decided to detonate manually. "Go, go, go!" Sujo shouted, directing traffic, making sure every woman got out. 4 women left, Mingi called out, helping 2 elderly women to their feet. 3 minutes on Marcus's clock. They worked frantically. 3 women freed, 2. The last woman was different from the others, older, maybe late 30s, American based on her features. And when Naomi knelt beside her to work on the chains, their eyes met. Recognition slammed into Naomi like a physical blow. "Oh my God! Naomi!" The woman's voice cracked, raw from disuse. "Naomi Barrett? Is that really you?" Sujo grabbed Naomi's arm. "You know her." Time seemed to slow. The warehouse, the danger. All of it fell away as Naomi stared at the face she'd last seen in a photo on her brother's phone. "She's—" Naomi's voice failed, throat closing. "She's my brother's girlfriend, Sarah. She disappeared the night he died. The woman who'd been with her brother in Atlanta months ago. The woman who'd vanished without a trace after his murder. The woman who could tell them everything about what really happened that night. 90 seconds, Mingi's voice cut through. We need to move. Now." But before they could finish removing Sarah's chains, the screens blazed back to life. Marcus's smile was victorious, triumphant. "Surprise, baby girl. Did you really think I'd leave my best card unguarded? That woman, Sarah, isn't it? She knows everything. Who killed your brother? Who gave the orders? who stood there and watched him die begging for mercy. His eyes glittered with malicious pleasure. Save her and finally get your answers. Or save yourself and live with the mystery forever. Your choice. 60 seconds. A new timer appeared on screen. 60, 59, 58. The detonator in Marcus's hand started counting down, and this time, Naomi knew there was no bypass, no trick, no clever way out. Just a choice. Save Sarah and learn the truth about her brother's death. Or run and lose the only witness who could give her justice. Sujo's hand tightened on her shoulder. Naomi, we have to go, now. But her hands were already working on Sarah's chains, even as the numbers dropped. 45, 44, 43. I'm not leaving her. Naomi, I said I'm not leaving her. Her voice cracked. She's all I have left of him, the only person who knows what really happened. I can't. The chains came free. 30 seconds. Run, Sujo commanded the team. Everyone out, now. They ran, Naomi supporting Sarah, Sujo and Mingi flanking them, boots pounding concrete, the exit so close but so far. 15 seconds. They cleared the door. 10 seconds. Dove behind shipping containers. 5, 4, 3. Sujo's body covered Naomi's, shielding her and Sarah both. 1. The warehouse exploded. The explosion was heat and sound and the world ending. Debris rained down, metal, concrete, fire. Sujo's weight pressed Naomi into the ground, protective and immovable, as the shockwave rolled over them like a living thing. Then silence. Ringing, hollow silence. Naomi. Sujo's voice cut through the haze. Naomi, can you hear me? She nodded against his chest, tasting dust and smoke. Sarah? Her voice came out hoarse. Here. The other woman coughed violently. I'm okay. Oh God, we're alive. Sujo pulled back, checking Naomi for injuries with hands that shook slightly. Anything broken? Bleeding? I'm fine. She caught his hands, stilling them. I'm okay. Around them, his team emerged from cover, bruised, dusty, but alive. All of them. Every single one. Status report, Sujo commanded, already back in control. All hostages accounted for, Mingi said, helping women to their feet. Minor injuries, nothing critical. We got lucky, boss. Lucky. They'd walked into Marcus's trap and somehow walked out, breathing. Naomi turned to Sarah, really seeing her for the first time in 10 months. She was thinner, harder, with haunted eyes that had seen too much, but it was definitely her brother's girlfriend. The woman from photos, from stories, from the life he'd had before Marcus destroyed everything. Sarah. Her voice cracked. What happened? That night in Atlanta, my brother, not here. Sarah glanced around at Sujo's men, at the burning warehouse, at the chaos. Her eyes lingered on Mingi for a fraction too long before looking away. Not with an audience, but Naomi. Her eyes filled with tears. I'm so sorry for everything. For not protecting him, for running, for later. Sujo's hand found Naomi's shoulder. We need to move before emergency services arrive. Questions we can't answer. He looked at Mingi. Get the women to safe houses, medical attention, everything they need. I want around-the-clock security until we confirm Marcus is contained. On it. Mingi started organizing, directing teams with practiced efficiency. Sarah comes with us, Naomi said. It wasn't a request. Sujo nodded. Agreed. She's a target. Now. Marcus won't let her live after this. The ride back to the mansion was silent, tense. Sarah sat between Naomi and Sujo, staring out the window like she couldn't quite believe she was free. Every few minutes she'd touch her wrists where chains had been, like confirming the absence of metal. How long? Naomi finally asked. How long did he keep you? 10 months. 3 days. Sarah's voice was hollow. Since the night your brother died. Naomi's throat tightened. Why didn't he kill you? Why keep you alive? Insurance. Sarah's laugh was bitter. I witnessed things that night. Things Marcus couldn't risk getting out. So he kept me. Leverage in case certain people needed convincing to stay quiet. What did you see? Sujo asked quietly. Sarah's eyes found his in the rearview mirror, and something flickered there. Fear, maybe. or warning. Too much, she whispered. I saw too much. Back at the mansion, Suzhou's staff moved efficiently. Medical checks for Sarah, food, clean clothes, a room prepared. But when they tried to separate her from Naomi, Sarah's composure cracked. Don't leave me alone, please. I can't be alone in a room again. So Naomi stayed, sitting beside her while a doctor checked vitals, treated minor injuries, administered sedatives. Sarah refused. I need to be clear-headed, Sarah insisted. Need to tell you everything before... She stopped, eyes darting to the door. Before what? Naomi asked. Before someone stops me. Sarah grabbed Naomi's hand, grip desperate. Marcus isn't the only monster in this story, Naomi. There are others. Close. Closer than you think. A chill ran down Naomi's spine. What do you mean? The door opened. Suzhou entered with Mingi, both cleaned up but still wearing tension like armor. Sarah's entire body went rigid at the sight of Mingi. We need to talk, Suzhou said. All of us. Sarah, you were there the night Naomi's brother died. I need to know everything. Who killed him? Why? And what connection it has to my organization. They gathered in his office, Naomi, Suzhou, Mingi standing near the door, and Sarah, who looked small and fragile in an oversized sweatshirt, carefully positioning herself as far from Mingi as possible. Naomi noticed. Sarah, what is it? Nothing, Sarah's voice shook. Can he leave? Please. Suzhou glanced at Mingi. Mingi's my second in command. He stays. Then I can't. Sarah's eyes filled with tears. I can't talk with him here. Why not? Naomi moved closer to Sarah. What aren't you telling us? Sarah's gaze locked on Mingi, and the terror there was unmistakable. Because he was there, that night in Atlanta. He's the one who, her voice broke. He killed your brother, Naomi. The world stopped. Naomi turned slowly to face Mingi, hand instinctively moving toward her weapon. What? That's not, Mingi started, but his face had gone carefully blank. Too blank. Don't lie to her. Sarah's voice gained strength. I watched you. I hid in the alley and watched you beat him until he stopped moving. Watched you search his pockets, take his phone. Watched you make a call and say, it's done. Boss. Mingi looked at Suzhou. This is Marcus's play. He's turning us against each other. Are you denying it? Suzhou's voice was deadly quiet. Were you in Atlanta 10 months ago? Silence. Mingi. Suzhou moved toward him. Answer the question. I was there. Mingi's jaw clenched, but not for the reason she thinks. Your father sent me to... My father's been dead for 3 years, Suzhou interrupted. Try again. The tension in the room was suffocating. Okay, Mingi's hand moved slowly toward his weapon. You want the truth? Yes, I was in Atlanta. Yes, I killed her brother. And yes, I've been working for Marcus Chen this entire time. Naomi's world shattered. 10 years, Suzhou breathed, and the betrayal in his voice cut like glass. 10 years at my side. You were my brother. He couldn't finish. I was Marcus's insurance policy. Mingi's gun was out now, trained on Suzhou. Planted 10 years ago to watch you. Report your movements. Keep Marcus one step ahead, and when your father stole 50 million in diamonds from Marcus's family... My father didn't steal anything, Suzhou snarled. Didn't he? Mingi's smile was cruel. Are you sure about that? Because I have the shipping manifests, the bank transfers, all in your father's name. He stole from Marcus, and when Marcus came for payment, your father took the coward's way out. Let Marcus torture him. Let him die rather than return what he took. You're lying. Am I? Mingi glanced at Naomi. Ask her brother. Oh wait, you can't. Because when he found proof that your father orchestrated the whole thing, when he tried to go to the FBI with evidence that would have cleared Marcus and destroyed the Kang family legacy, I did what I was paid to do. I eliminated the threat. Naomi couldn't breathe. Couldn't think. You killed him for evidence? For paperwork? I killed him because Marcus ordered it. Because that's what I do. What I've always done. Mingi's eyes were cold. And now, boss? Now I'm going to finish the job. Marcus is outside with 50 men. I'm going to let them in, and you're both going to die knowing that everything, your father's death, your empire, this whole war, was built on lies." He raised his weapon. Suzhou moved faster. The gunshot was deafening in the enclosed space. Mingi stumbled back, hand pressed to his shoulder, blood seeping through his fingers. "You actually shot me. You betrayed me." Suzhou's gun didn't waver. "For 10 years you lived in my house, ate at my table. I trusted you with everything, and you were Marcus's dog the entire time." "I was surviving." Mingi's laugh was bitter. "Something you're about to stop doing, because in about 30 seconds this mansion is going to be overrun, and you—" He looked at Naomi. "You're going to watch everyone you care about die, just like I watched your brother beg for his life." Naomi pulled her weapon, hands shaking with rage. "Tell me one thing, did he suffer? What do you think?" Mingi's smile was vicious. She pulled the trigger. The shot hit his leg and he went down hard. "That's for my brother." Alarms shrieked through the mansion. Gunfire erupted outside, close, getting closer. "They're breaching the gates," Suzhou said, already moving toward the door. "Sarah, Naomi, safe room, now." "I'm not hiding," Naomi said. "Neither am I," Sarah added, voice stronger than it had been. "I've been Marcus's prisoner for 10 months. I'm done being a victim." Suzhou looked between them, two women who'd survived Marcus's cruelty, who'd chosen to fight instead of flee. "Then arm yourselves. This is going to get bloody." Through the windows, Naomi saw them, dozens of vehicles, armed men pouring through the gates, surrounding the mansion like a siege. Marcus's voice boomed through a megaphone, carrying across the grounds. "Suzhou, I know you can hear me. It's over. I have 50 men. You have what? 10? 15? Send out Naomi and the witness, and I let the rest of you walk away. You have 5 minutes. After that, I burn everything to the ground." Suzhou looked at Naomi, and she saw the calculation in his eyes. The impossible choice: fight and probably die, or surrender and definitely die. 4 minutes, Marcus called out. Naomi made the choice for him. She was already walking toward the door before anyone could stop her. "I'm going out there." "Naomi, no." "He wants me? He can have me." She looked back at Suzhou, and the love in her eyes was fierce, unbreakable. "But I'm going to put a bullet in him first, and if I don't make it—" Her voice cracked. "Don't let him win, promise me." "I'm not letting you. 3 minutes. You don't have a choice." She touched his face gently. "Neither of us do." Then she opened the door and walked out into the night, toward Marcus and his army, toward the man who destroyed her family. And Suzhou could only watch as the woman he loved walked straight into death. Naomi stepped into the night, hands raised, weapon holstered but within reach. 50 guns trained on her immediately, floodlights blinded. Behind her, Suzhou's mansion stood like a fortress under siege, and she could feel him watching from the windows, helpless, furious, terrified. There she is. Marcus emerged from behind his men, that familiar predatory smile spreading across his face. "My beautiful, stubborn girl, did you really think you could just walk away from me? Build a new life with Korean trash and forget what we had?" "We never had anything," Naomi said, voice steady despite her racing heart. "You were a lie from the beginning." "Was I?" He moved closer, and his men parted like water. "I gave you everything. Love, security, a future, and you threw it away because your brother couldn't mind his own business." "You killed him." "I eliminated a problem." Marcus stopped 5 feet away. He saw things he shouldn't have, was going to ruin everything I'd built. What was I supposed to do, let him destroy me? "You were supposed to be human." Naomi's hand inched toward her weapon. "You were supposed to have a soul." "Souls are expensive in my line of work." His eyes tracked her movement. "I wouldn't do that if I were you. My men have orders. You reach for that gun. They put 20 bullets in your boyfriend's house. Is that what you want?" She froze. "That's better." Marcus circled her slowly, predator assessing prey. "Here's what's going to happen. You're coming with me tonight. No arguments, no heroics. And in exchange, I let Suzhou live. Let all his people live. You get to save them, Naomi. Isn't that what you wanted? To be the hero? And if I refuse? Then I burn that mansion to the ground with everyone inside, starting with the woman who's been telling you lies about Atlanta. His smile widened. Sarah's been talking, hasn't she? Filling your head with stories. She told me the truth, that you orchestrated everything. My brother's death, Suzhou's father, the diamond theft. All manipulation. Of course it was. Marcus laughed, casual and cruel. Did you think Suzhou's father actually stole from my family? I staged the entire thing, killed my own people, blamed the Kangs, started a profitable war. Your brother figured it out. That's why he had to die. The admission made her sick. Why go through all of this? Because I wanted you. His voice dropped, intimate and sickening. From the moment I met you, I knew you were special, strong, unbreakable. But you had attachments, that brother, those morals. So I eliminated the obstacles, made you run so far you'd have nowhere to go but back to me. You're insane. I'm devoted. His hand reached for her face. And now you're coming home. No. The word hung like a gunshot. Marcus's expression went cold. Excuse me? I said no. Naomi stepped back, hand moving to her weapon. You want me? Try taking me. But know that every person in that house will put you down like the rabid dog you are. You're bluffing. Am I? She drew her weapon, trained it on his chest. I've spent 10 months preparing for this moment. You believe everyone breaks eventually, but you're wrong about me, Marcus. You were always wrong. 50 guns rose in response. You pull that trigger, you die, Marcus said quietly. I know. Her hand didn't shake. But so do you, and that's enough. For a long moment, the world balanced on a knife's edge. Then Marcus smiled. You really would do it. God, I really did love you. What a waste. He raised his hand. Kill her. Kill them all. Glass shattered above. Sarah appeared in a second-floor window, rifle braced against the frame, and fired. Marcus staggered, hand going to his side where blood bloomed. What? That's for 10 months in chains, Sarah shouted, voice raw but steady. The east wall exploded outward, not from Marcus's men breaching in, from Suzhou's reinforcements breaking out, hidden forces he'd positioned during the preparation hours. Chen Ho led the charge, and suddenly Marcus's numerical advantage evaporated as trained operatives engaged from multiple angles. Chaos erupted. Naomi dove behind a vehicle as bullets tore through the night. Found Suzhou beside her, already returning fire. You were supposed to stay inside, she shouted over the gunfire, and let you sacrifice yourself? Not happening. He dropped 2 of Marcus's men. We end this together. Inside the mansion, Mingi lay bleeding on Suzhou's office floor, phone in his shaking hand. He'd made a choice in those final moments, called the FBI, gave them everything. Location, evidence, the whole network. His last act of betrayal wasn't against Suzhou. It was against Marcus. The firefight was brutal. Naomi moved on instinct. Shoot, cover, breathe. Her FBI training and Suzhou's protection keeping her alive as they fought toward Marcus. She saw him retreating, bleeding toward the vehicles. He's running! She gave chase, tackled him before he reached his car. They went down hard, grappling in blood and smoke. You can't win, he gasped. Even if you kill me, your organization dies with you. She pressed her gun to his temple. Mingi already gave the FBI everything. Sarah's testimony buries you. It's over, Marcus. Then do it. His eyes were wild. Pull the trigger. Become exactly what I always knew you were. A killer just like me. Her finger tightened. Naomi. Suzhou's voice cut through the rage. Don't. He's not worth becoming what he is. He killed my brother. I know, but you're better than this. Better than him. Suzhou's hand extended. Come back to me, please. She looked at Marcus, the man who'd destroyed everything. Then at Suzhou, the man who'd shown her what love without cages looked like. She lowered the gun. Sirens wailed. Red and blue lights flooded the compound. FBI's here, Naomi said. You'll rot in a cell. Seems like better punishment than a quick death." As federal agents swarmed the scene, as Marcus was dragged away screaming threats, as EMTs rushed to treat wounded, Sujo pulled Naomi into his arms. "It's over," he whispered against her hair. "It's over," she agreed, letting herself believe it for the first time. 6 weeks later. The courtroom was packed for the sentencing. Naomi sat in the front row, Sujo's hand tight in hers as the judge read the verdict. "Marcus Chen, you have been found guilty on all counts: human trafficking, murder, conspiracy, racketeering. This court sentences you to life in prison without the possibility of parole." Marcus's eyes found Naomi's across the room. Even in chains, even defeated, that smile still held malice. But this time, it didn't touch her. She'd won. Outside the courthouse, Sarah waited with a genuine smile, the first real one Naomi had seen on her face since the rescue. "It's really over," Sarah said, pulling her into a hug. "He can't hurt anyone ever again." "No, he can't." Naomi held her tight. "Thank you for being brave enough to testify, for everything." "Thank your brother," Sarah whispered. "He started this fight. We just finished it." As Sarah left to meet with victim advocates, Sujo wrapped his arm around Naomi's waist. "Dinner? Celebrate?" "Actually," Naomi swayed slightly, the world tilting. "I think I need to sit down." His hand steadied her immediately. "What's wrong? Are you hurt?" "No, I'm just—" She pressed a hand to her forehead. "I've been feeling off all week, tired, dizzy, probably just stress from the trial. You should see a doctor." "I will, tomorrow." She leaned into him, breathing in his scent. Safety and home. "Right now, I just want to go home with you." "Home," he repeated softly, like the word was precious. I liked the sound of that. That night, lying in bed with Sujo's arms around her, Naomi couldn't shake the feeling that something was different, changed. She'd attributed the exhaustion to trauma, to the trial, to everything they'd survived. But deep down, she knew it was something else. The next morning, while Sujo was in meetings, she went to the doctor alone. The test took 3 minutes. The results changed everything. Naomi stared at the positive pregnancy test in her shaking hands, mind reeling. Pregnant. She was pregnant with Sujo's child, a baby conceived in the chaos of war, growing now in the peace they'd fought so hard to build. Terror and joy warred in her chest. She had to tell him, had to figure out what this meant for them, for their future, for... Her phone rang. Unknown number. Something cold slithered down her spine, but she answered anyway. "Hello?" Silence. Then a woman's voice. Cold, cultured, with an accent she couldn't quite place. "Hello, Naomi. You don't know me yet, but I know everything about you." "Who is this?" "Someone who's been watching you for quite some time. You and Sujo. Such a beautiful love story. The FBI agent and the crime boss. Very... Romeo and Juliet." The woman's laugh was crystalline and cruel. "Marcus was useful, but ultimately too emotional, too attached to you. That made him sloppy, weak." Naomi's blood ran cold. "What do you want?" "What I've always wanted, control. Marcus worked for me, you see. He was never the real threat, just a very convincing puppet." A pause. "And now that you're carrying Sujo's child, you've become very valuable to me." The world stopped. "How do you—" "I know everything, darling. The pregnancy test in your hand, the fear in your heart, the way you're looking around right now, wondering if I'm watching." The woman's voice dropped to a whisper. "I am. Always. If you touch us—" "Oh, I won't touch you. Not yet. I'm going to let you tell Sujo about the baby. Let you have a few sweet moments of happiness, planning your future together." Her laugh was like broken glass. "And then I'm going to take it all away. Just like you took Marcus from me." "Who are you?" "You'll find out soon enough. But here's what you need to understand. Marcus was just the opening act. The real game is about to begin. And this time, Naomi Barrett, you won't see me coming." The line went dead. Naomi stood frozen in the doctor's office, one hand pressed to her stomach where a tiny life was growing, the other clutching her phone like a lifeline. Marcus was behind bars, but the real enemy had been in the shadows all along, and now she was coming for Naomi, for Sujo, for their unborn child. The war wasn't over, it was just beginning. Did that ending leave you shook? Because it's about to get so much more intense. If you need part 2 of Naomi and Sujo's story, if you have to know who this mysterious woman is and how they're going to protect their baby, smash that like button right now and drop a comment telling me you want the sequel. Hit subscribe and turn on that notification bell so you don't miss when part 2 drops. Trust me, you do not want to miss what happens next. This story is about to go to a whole new level. Comment below, are you Team Naomi or do you think she should run? What would you do if a mysterious enemy was coming for your family? Let me know. Thanks for watching, and remember, in this world the most dangerous enemy is the one you never see coming. See you in part 2.